Welcome back to Stay Tuned,
Hello.
local podcast, living the everyday life with a little bit of extra oomph. I got a special guest with me today, Taylor. Taylor's
buddy.
from, well, he's
All over.
all over, yeah. Uh, Starting with that whiskey,
Bourbon.
So we got some
Yeah.
bourbon in the cup.
Yeah, I picked up the habit of enjoying a lot of bourbon and whiskey in Tennessee.
How long did you live there?
6 years. 2011 to 2017. Yeah.
A lot of that was just a lot of favorite around that area, I'm guessing, if you're drinking.
Oh yeah.
That's
there's
mostly
a ton of
when you
bars.
drank
There's a shit ton
whiskey
of bars.
when you were there, though.
Yeah, whiskey. That's where I got into it. That's also where I started getting into weed too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my first roommate, he's like, just come on. You haven't smoked before? Come on, I'll share a bowl with you. Then they taught me all the tricks, like take a toilet paper tube, stuff it with
Some
dryer
fabric
sheets.
softener.
Yeah.
Dryer sheets, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it doesn't
It's a
smell.
sploof,
doesn't smell.
sploof, I think it's called.
Sploof?
Yeah, I think that's what they call that. There's a name to it.
That sounds very similar to spliff too.
Yeah. But I think it's called a sploof. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, just let me know.
And then
But-
that same roommate. My first round of hard drinking ever. We were having a drinking game.
Okay.
To the Lorax movie. Have you ever seen it?
It's like a Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, the Dr. Seuss
I haven't
movie.
seen that. I don't think
Well,
I've
it was
seen
the
that
new
one.
one with Zac Efron, Taylor Swift, and Danny DeVito. And we drink whenever any of them said a line, sang. The trees were mentioned. The Lorax was mentioned by name. And
I
was
think I've
drinking,
seen
like-
one of those before,
I was
like
drinking,
watching a movie
one and
with
a
a
half
game like
shot.
that.
Yeah. But we were drinking a shot for each time one of those things happened. My roommate was accidentally giving me like 1.5 shots because we didn't have shot glasses.
A little extra.
Yeah, I broke a mirror. It just
Jesus.
fell over in the bathroom and I stepped on it.
Wow, man. I've never done that. I've seen that before. I've heard of people
What,
that
drinking
have
games?
done that. Yeah, like during the movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
I've
quick way
never
to
done
get
that
hammered.
one. Oof. The Lorax.
But I started hanging out at college parties. Those were fun. I didn't talk much, but I got into beer pong.
That's badass. I mean, there's a whole
And since I'm so freaking tall, just
bink balling at beer pong. It's been a while since I played that.
yeah.
I used to love that shit though. Easy hooping. The comeback whenever people would go cold with that one cup left.
So
You'd
when
be having all your cups and
Mhm.
you'd come back and just take it.
when did you start smoking weed?
I was 16. I was like a junior in high school. My first semester. Probably around like October and shit.
Yeah.
Good weather. I remember one day I went to the first day I smoked. I didn't actually get high, so I was all taking off home. And
That's
this fool
weird.
came running. I was skating home. This fool came running after me like, Chris, you gotta put cologne on. You're gonna fucking sting.
What do you mean you didn't get high?
I just took like a hit or something, but I didn't get high.
Okay.
So it wasn't. I didn't smoke.
It was
And
weak
then
stuff.
it was just yeah,
Weak stuff, and you barely got a hit.
yeah. So I
remember-
mean, there's a lot of. I think that there's a good amount of stories where people don't get high their first time.
I remember my first time I tried to get weed. Me and my friend Patrick up in Youngstown, New York. We were like going to go meet up with a friend. Like, oh, the guy's not here yet. We're gonna go play some basketball. I'm like, okay, I'm down. If we're just gonna be waiting around. So we get on the court. We have a couple rounds. You know, some people shoot baskets. I was wearing Chuck Taylors at the time. I'm like, oh, these are basketball shoes. So eventually I slip, sprain the arch of my foot. I didn't even know that was possible.
That's
Just like
gnarly.
the middle
I've
of your
had it
foot,
like
right
cramp,
there,
I
that
think.
isn't supposed to bend.
Yeah.
It bent, and in like 5 minutes, I couldn't walk.
uh,
So yeah, that was my first experience trying to get weed.
how old were you again here?
That was that was up in Youngstown, New York. That was like I just graduated high school.
Okay. A lot of good basketball out there.
I have no idea.
You just were there that
I
one
just-
day.
that's my story for why I don't play basketball at all anymore. I remember playing it once in a gym down here in Yuma,
Yeah.
and I tripped and landed all my weight on this kneecap. Bruised that kneecap for the rest of the year. I can still feel like storms coming in that kneecap.
Uh, yeah, the basketball has always been a good one for me.
I
They got
didn't-
the finals going on right now. I think the next game's on Tuesday.
What's the
We'll
court
see what
name?
happened. Hardwood.
Hardwood? I always thought it was pine, but yeah, hardwood. That makes sense.
Yeah, that wax coat and stuff that they got all over it.
Yeah. Is my voice coming in good? I'm not seeing very many spikes.
I mean, I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think I'll be able to normalize the vocals and stuff out there. So
I could probably try moving
Bring it
this
to
a little
life.
more forward. Scooting up a little bit.
yeah, whatever you want to do.
There we go.
Seems good to me for that. You when you were in Tennessee, you hooked up with a
Yeah, I went on tour.
tour. Yeah,
Went on
the
tour
gig
with
thing.
well, it was Hank Williams Jr. I only went out for like half a run.
But you're involved with the lights and cleaning
Yeah, we
and
were-
setting up. all
Yeah,
that.
we were doing lighting, so we'd help set up the stage. The entire process, fucking going on tour is a whole process, and it's not exactly fun for most of it because it starts off with okay, you got to get into the tour bus at like 6 in the morning, and it was my first tour. I showed up in the parking lot where the bus was, parked my car there. Everybody, like all the riggers, all the sound guys, all the production staff that we had on our bus
Yeah.
was there, except for my boss, who was just another guy who goes out on tours, just my senior and just the person above me in the company,
Okay.
like the tech lead, the lighting lead.
Oh,
He wasn't
okay.
there. So we were all waiting around, and then deadline hit, and we're like, okay, he's not here. And then one of the guys said, hey, call Andrew. That was the dude's name.
That
like,
was the guy.
Call Andrew, see where he's at. So I rung him up, called him, like, hey, Andrew, it's Taylor, are you there? I'm like, yeah, what's up? You need to get to the bus now.
What?
I woke him up.
Did you?
Yeah, he was asleep, I guess. So yeah, that was
Gosh,
my
that's
first
crazy.
impression with that. No, not my first impression with him. First impression with him on tour. But after that, there weren't any big problems until like the end of my part on the run, when okay, so we have these curtains that we're supposed to have the drums and all of. I keep forgetting that Hank Williams's backdrop and all that stuff is behind this curtain.
Okay.
But when the curtain, we couldn't get the pulleys to work.
Oh.
So it was him, Andrew, and the stage manager. The guy who makes sure the
Everything's
whole
right.
show goes on without a hitch. Those two would run out to the middle of the stage when Hank was getting ready to, start his show, and they'd grab it. They'd each grab one half, and they'd run to the side. So that's how we got around that.
That sounds hella old school.
Yeah, well,
They're like, fuck it. We gotta
we
make
just-
it happen right now.
we just couldn't figure out those pulleys. We did that for the entire run instead of figuring out how to rework the pulleys.
That's
So
awesome,
that,
though.
no, it wasn't. We
It
should have
is.
figured out how to
That-
rework the pulleys.
he was late, and then his shit wasn't all together either.
Yeah, it was. It was like, I mean, the way it worked was like, you know what Weekend Warriors is? It's when you work for like.
I've heard of that. I think.
It's when you work for like 3-4 days out of a week, and then like with roadies, like you go out for like 3-4 days, they fly you home, then you fly back out.
Oh, okay.
Fly back out, get back on the bus, do all that stuff. We did a couple of that. We did some of that. Lost a couple tools because I forgot to put them in my bag. One was like a real good Leatherman with like an actual saw blade that we actually had to use for a couple times.
Oh snap!
Lost more knives than I can remember that way. Just little folding, box cutters.
What was one of the best places that you went to that like as far as like the concert, like that was a good show?
Let's see, that I've worked or that I've been to.
That you worked during that time, like one of the memorable.
I've never been a
spots.
fan of country music, but I did enjoy Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, okay.
He did a lot of Johnny Cash covers.
All right.
I remember him
Sounds like
singing
something
Man
I
in
had
Black.
to check out.
Remember him singing Man in Black, and I was sitting backstage on top of a case that we used to hold cables. And just like, when he got to, I forgot what it was. It was either Man in Black or Folsom Prison, but when he got to like one of the real deep notes, deep long notes, just the entire stage just.
Banging off those good ass speakers and
Yeah, it was
all that
everything
quality
was just
sound around.
buzzing.
I could only imagine.
You could feel it. Like normally, like when you go to a concert, you can feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
I felt it in my spine
Oh, okay.
all the way through.
Okay, so that was in Tennessee. You're born in Hawaii?
Yes.
What island again?
I was born on the island of Oahu in the city of Kailua. Actually, in a doctor's office called Castle.
Castle. Dr. Castle?
I think so.
Excuse me.
All I know is that I was born in a castle in Hawaii.
Fucking awesome. Fucking Peach's goddamn castle on their island.
But yeah, that was fun. I lived there till I was 6.
6, man. And then we went to what direction of the states did you come to?
We went all the way up to New York. Lockport, New York,
They
actually.
skipped all of America. They
We
flew
drove.
the sea, and then they
We flew.
you flew to San
We
Diego?
flew to like San Diego or San Francisco. I don't remember which one. We flew there. We had our van waiting there for us. The one that my parents
Yeah.
drove over in Hawaii. We
Shipped
had
it.
it shipped over. And then it was me. It was my mother and father, my 2 older brothers, myself, and our cat in a minivan driving from California up to New York.
Oh snap!
That was an experience.
How long did it take you guys?
Well, like a week.
You just enjoyed like your guys' time and stuff on
Mhm.
the way.
Yeah, we moved out. We moved out around like late June, right after I got out of kindergarten.
Did you remember like what route, what states you kind of hit through?
I remember some of the states. I believe we went through Arizona. Did we go through Arizona? We might have gone through Arizona. We went through Nevada, Colorado, and then just kind of up. I think and then somehow we made ourselves over to Mississippi, then Ohio, then Pennsylvania. Like you have to go through Pennsylvania to get to New York because Pennsylvania wanted a spot on the lake. So they just sort of like, okay, this is ours now. We just extend this little bit up to the lake. But that part of Pennsylvania is just like all flat. It was just access to the lake.
I
the States.
found out the other day that Arizona has beaches.
Beaches?
Yeah.
On lakes or on sea?
They call them beaches.
They call them beaches. Are they beaches?
No. Yeah, though. Yuma actually has a beach.
Let's see. The London Bridge. I think it's the London Bridge. They moved it here into Arizona, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's the London Bridge. I can.
Yeah, it's in Lake Havasu.
Yeah, Lake Havasu.
Lake
Why they
Havasu
moved the
City.
London Bridge to Lake Havasu, I don't understand, but it's badass.
I remember going there as a kid one time.
I've never actually been, but just the concept of, okay, we're gonna buy the London Bridge, I guess, or it was donated to America, and we're just gonna move it out into a lake in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, that is random. We'll
Like,
just ship it
Is it
all
that
up.
does it actually still work?
Yeah,
It's actually operational. Wow.
I don't know about that.
Closest
But,
thing to that I've been to was
like
the.
that is just,
Go on.
it is just crazy that it's here in
Mhm.
Arizona.
Closest thing to that I've ever actually been to is the Parthenon in Nashville. They rebuilt the. Yeah, I told you about this before. They rebuilt the Parthenon, Greek temple to Athena? Yeah, Athena. And then, they just rebuilt the statue, rebuilt all the columns, all the scale. Like downstairs where I guess like all the priestesses or oracles would live. They had like a little art gallery. It was nice.
It's awesome.
I
Yeah, I
could get it for
remember
free.
you showed, or you told me about it. I looked
Yeah,
it
you-
up and
you
I was like,
looked up-
oh yeah, it looks
yeah.
badass.
Yeah, Athena standing there holding a shield, holding out Nike. Goddess of Victory, I think. Yeah.
How long have you been in Yuma?
Let's see, I lived here for 4 years, and then I moved away. Then I moved back here in like 2017.
Okay. 4 years you were in high school, or?
Let's see, middle school for 2 years, then high school for 2 years. I went to Castle Dome Middle School, which is like
Yeah.
right next to where I'm living now.
Yeah.
And then I went to Yuma High for 1 year, and then Gila Ridge for 1 year when it opened up.
Okay. Gila Ridge. I remember when that opened up too. I think I
Yeah.
was in high school.
I remember the contest to name Gila Ridge and choose its mascot, and like nobody participated in it. Nobody
Really?
was excited about it. Like it's school. It's another school. We don't care. It's not gonna be as cool as the Criminals. Where'd you graduate?
I graduated from Sobola.
Cibola, onion. That's what Cibola means, right? Onion.
I'm not even sure.
I'm pretty sure Cibola means onion.
In what language?
Spanish.
Nuh-uh.
I'm going to look it
You're
up.
talking about Saboya.
Cebolla? Well, I don't know very good Spanish.
I know what you mean, though.
Cebolla. Okay.
Cibola. That's a good one. That's a good one, Taylor.
That's just what I heard living here.
Saboya.
Oh, you
Oh,
did?
shit. Man, what school did you graduate from?
Lewiston Porter High School.
Where?
Up in Lewiston, New York.
Uh,
Right on.
how big was your class? Do you remember?
200 kids, I think.
A little charter school or what?
No, just a local
Smaller
school
one?
for like 2 towns.
Oh, okay.
A lot of we lived like right where Lake Niagara met. Well, the Niagara River met Lake Niagara, like just past the falls. Have you ever heard of Fort Niagara? It's like literally
I
on.
think so.
It's literally on the corner. I lived within walking distance of there, and I'd just go down there every now and then, go to the park.
That's cool.
It was nice and chill.
Probably, yeah, I would imagine. And then the scenery and all that. The
Yeah,
habitat and all that.
Walking back upstream on the river, see how far you can get just looking at all the scenery. Beautiful.
Fort Niagara?
Fort Niagara, yeah.
Fort Niagara. Walking distance away.
Yeah, I lived in a town called Youngstown. Not a lot of young people there.
A lot of old
Yeah,
heads.
a lot of old people. So we actually rented out the house that belonged to the girlfriend of an ex-Buffalo Sabres player.
Okay.
One of the French Four. I don't remember his name.
Nice house though.
He did come over and clean the pool a couple times while we were home. So hey, we got a big time hockey player out back cleaning
Cleaning
our
the
pool.
pool.
Oh yeah.
Dope. Gotta love that. He's humble. He's just out here helping y'all.
No kids ever visited us on Halloween though.
Those
I don't
two.
know why. Probably the lady we rented it from just didn't give out anything good.
Hmm.
And then we tried to do it like, do a good proper Halloween on the first year, and then nobody showed up, and like, okay, screw it.
It's
We
been
don't
a
need to be
while.
eating all this candy.
Yeah.
I remember that
Trick or
year.
treating.
I remember that year we actually had so much candy. Me and my brother Derek, we went around reverse trick or treating houses. We'd go up, knock on the door, say trick or treat, and then reach into our bucket, throw candy at them, and say trick.
That's a good one.
Just because we dressed up in costume.
That's
Why
funny.
not? Teenagers being teenagers.
Yeah.
Stupid
We're gonna
shit.
be rebels. Alright, I'm gonna take a break real quick and we'll come back.
Cool.
It's just been give
We
me
gotta
a
get-
sec.
I could say something.
What's up?
What did you grow up listening to?
A lot of just I remember a lot of 90s rap.
A lot of rap, a lot of
The
hip hop,
grunge
grunge.
sound, was that what it was?
Yeah, grunge like Nirvana.
Yeah, that, and then all the like kind of like that punk sound was around
Punk
too.
sound,
with
Green
the,
Day, Blink
yeah, like Green Day.
Offspring.
Yeah, all that. And then
Like what
maybe
about like
a little
metal?
non
get into metal at all?
90s metal. I don't think so. I don't think
What
I
about,
heard
like,
a lot of it.
Metallica or
Well, I
Black
guess you're right.
Sabbath?
Yeah, all that classic
Like 80s,
rocks and stuff
70s,
too.
80s
Yeah,
metal.
I listened to a lot of that with the parents around.
Mm-hmm.
And then the metal, I think that 90s, I don't know, was like kind of close,
Like
not too much,
Slipknot-ish.
too much that, but like that hard alternative
Yeah,
too,
like
that,
Slipknot,
the
Papa
Disturbed and on
Roach,
the-
Disturbed.
but not too much metal in the 90s. But the 80s and the 70s, yeah, a lot of that classic stuff.
You ever
Not
get into
a lot of
ska?
60s. Ska that's what I was thinking about, the grunge, I think. 'cause
Oh, yeah.
that was in the 90s, it was
Yeah, just
pretty
kind
big.
of.
I remember that around skate
Kind
scene
of
and stuff.
Caribbean, like a real skate scene.
Yeah,
A lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater had
yeah, I
ska
remember.
on it.
That was one of the games that I remember playing a lot of when I was younger with the Nintendo 64.
That was on
Uh,
Nintendo 64?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought 64 would let it. I don't know, when did it come out? Same time as
It
the
was
PS1?
like, I think it was around 98 and shit.
Yeah, around the same time as the PS1. So yeah, hardware capabilities were there. I always get the Super Nintendo and the N64 like eras mixed up because I never played Nintendo.
yeah.
Like I had Game Boys. We had a Super Nintendo when I was growing up. Played a couple Final Fantasy games on that. Then it died.
Okay.
We had like a Game Genie,
Yeah.
and we'd always use that because it's more fun. And we had
I
like
think I played one of those a
I
couple
remember
times.
this one Civil War game. Where it
Uh-huh.
was just like, two cartoony guys who sort of looked like Dudley Do-Right. Like the cartoon Dudley Do-Right, you remember him?
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. A Confederate soldier and a Union soldier, both kind of in that same cartoony style, going around. I remember one game where you're trying to advance on a train and, hop up, you gotta shoot the guys, hop down, advance, hop up, advance, shoot the guys, drop down.
Yeah, that's super
And it was just like a whole bunch of different
old school game
different
style.
types of levels of that. Like
Yeah.
they need to do that
Where
more
they have
often.
the
with
different
new
like
games.
rhythms and stuff that you'd have to catch and all
Yeah.
that.
Like
The
with me,
timing and everything.
like back then they did that because there were limitations, but it offered more variety, so it was a boost. Now everything's like, okay, we have all this hardware, we have all this video. Let's just make one giant thing.
Yeah, that is
What
what they
what
do
they
now.
could do is make like, 7 or 8 smaller things and just kind of link them all together through one not quite as big world.
Yeah.
Like different
Small.
levels. Go back to level design and not world design.
True. That's a good say on that. That would be interesting.
Keep
More
everything-
entertaining. Keep it like on.
Keep
you on your
everything
toes.
focused. Keep things in their place.
You had asked me earlier, and I don't bring it up a lot either. But when going back to like me being adopted,
Mm-hmm.
I was adopted with my
With your brother?
my sisters.
Your
I had
sister.
an older and a younger sister
Okay.
that were blood related, and
Mm-hmm.
we're all adopted together. But my oldest sister had fallen out with
Your
between
family?
us and the family, yeah.
Mhm.
So parted ways with her a while back. So
So was it foster family or like full adoption step
full
family?
adoption
Okay.
type. And then I don't know where I don't talk to her. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Falling out. Like before I moved down here, when I lived in Tennessee, my brothers never contacted me. I'd always, every once in a while, try, talk to them. Like, they'd be like, oh, hey, yeah, a little bit of chatting. Like, I was like, oh, we're busy because I call them, they'd call me back, and I'm like in the middle of driving, and they'd call me back.
oh,
And
that bad
it's just like,
timing.
yeah, bad timing, and just we never had anything to really talk about because we didn't really have same lives.
Yeah.
They both went into the army. I didn't.
Okay.
My oldest brother got married after he came back out of the army, and he's moving back. He's moving up to Flagstaff to get a better job.
Okay.
He's got major issues right now from the army. PTSD. Working on equipment. He worked on tanks, so he was a tank mechanic, and like that's what he was doing here in YPG. He was living here with his family. He'd work up there, and like, just like he was in Kuwait, and like just they were bombing shit out of everything over there.
Mhm.
So that really kind of messed with his nerves.
Traumatic. My respects though to him for his service.
Mm-hmm.
How long did he serve?
One tour.
One tour, so one term.
Mm-hmm. And my other brother Derek, he also went into the army, but he wanted to become like a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
But the prospects weren't panning out, so he dropped out the army. Right now, he's working up in a fish and packing plant in Alaska.
Seaspiracy.
What up?
Oh,
Conspiracy?
Seaspiracy. It's a little
Mm.
documentary thing on Netflix.
What's it about? Like fishing?
Yeah, overfishing and
Oh, yeah.
all that. Eating seafood and
Yeah, he was in a packing plant.
we'll
Like they're
cut back
they're
on
giving him a run around. That's where well, it's a farm and a packing plant. They catch the fish at the rivers in Alaska, and then they funnel them straight into the plant, and then they get gutted and filleted, and caviar gets extruded,
it. Okay.
and they just ship out tons of frozen fish a day. But recently, he said I want to become a pilot, but when I was young, I figured since he was young, he figured he couldn't be a pilot because he needed glasses, so that pushed him off of that dream immediately. But like now, he's suddenly decided, you know what? I do want to become a pilot. I These classes aren't that much of a limitation, and you know what? I don't like running, like practically being a manager at a fish packing plant without any respect. So I want
Okay.
to go and figure out how to fly a plane.
All right. All right. I could see where he's coming from with that.
But like like jerk him around every now and then. He's only up there during like fish spawning season, which is when all the salmon comes in.
In the
So
season, yeah.
he moves back down here and hangs out with you know everybody, all the family that's still down here.
It's cool. And then you got his work season though.
Hmm?
Work season, and
Yeah.
then just chill on his off time.
Yeah, he just moved up there. He just moved back up there in like late June.
When he goes up there, is that during that time where there's
That's
where it's all the sun hours all day?
yeah. It's summer, so yeah.
Okay, so he's
But he goes until like fall to like winter. So yeah, he gets the full spectrum.
badass.
He says it's absolutely beautiful up there, and if there's one place that he wants to go flying, it's definitely Alaska. Have you seen the scenery of all the mountains
Like
and the
to
rivers?
fly over it
Yeah.
and that's a good point.
Like just
Very
all the
good
wilderness
point,
out
yeah.
there. Beautiful.
How does he like dealing with the cold?
Dealing with the cold? He hasn't really brought it up to me very much, so I guess I got it
It's
all locked
something
down.
he's got used to.
I mean, I think he's used to it by now. It's been like 2 years, 3
Yeah.
years.
That would be something to adapt to.
Hmm.
It'd be a crazy experience just in that alone.
And like he's also been living in like Seattle,
Uh,
but right now he's got a van that he's just parked out in front of our yard, like in our driveway. So yeah,
his travel van.
yeah, his travel van. He insulated all of it. He did the works on the inside.
That's dope.
Put it in a curtain. I think he might have an air mattress in there,
That's pretty cool.
but I haven't really seen him use it for anything more than just like driving around Yuma.
Do you go on a? Do you go camping and stuff like that?
Me, no.
No.
My parents do. I live with
They
them
go
right
often.
now. Not so much recently. We just got a dog, Rottweiler, purebred. Show
How old
quality
is-
papers.
how
Show
old?
quality with papers. She's almost a year old now.
Nice. You got any pictures?
Let's see. I do got pictures. I also got pictures of my cat.
Cat. How old's your cat?
Oh, like a year older than the dog.
Your cat's chill or your cat's like a cat?
He's a cat. Sometimes he's chill. Sometimes he's not. It all depends. Okay, I don't have many recent pictures of the puppy. I have some puppy pictures of the puppy.
That'll be cool to see that.
Okay.
That's it.
Here's
I like
Sebastian.
Rottweiler.
One of the rare times he was used in his basket.
Huh.
He is Siamese. I believe they're called Thai cats now. Here is Lily when we first got her.
Shit.
Smaller than my foot.
That's a good picture right there.
Yeah.
She's
Save them that one with
adorable.
mom. There's Sebastian again. Okay, here's a video of her.
Oh yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, she's getting big. She's got a bat on her butt. See, yeah, I don't have that many photos of her. But yeah, she's a Rottweiler. She's got darker brown parts.
Okay.
And then like,
She
Yeah.
looked pretty cute.
yeah, Rottweilers are amazing.
Yeah, I like
They're
them.
unbelievably adorable for being like the dog with the world's the dog with the most biting strength. They're ridiculously adorable for being a monster.
Yeah, they are.
She's smart though. She's smart and stubborn, which normally comes with being smart. What pets have you had?
Just dogs.
Just dogs?
And I remember we had cats when I was younger, but my parents, after whatever, whenever we moved and stuff, I think we got rid of the cats.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Those,
just dogs. But I've never like personally myself
never got too attached to
gotten
them?
one. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, like they're always cool. Whenever like you go to someone's house and just it's part of the family, you know.
Mm-hmm. Alright, where are we going now?
We're at about 35 minutes out.
Alright.
I think it's a pretty good
It's a good
one.
sample.
Do you wanna call it a night?
If you want,
Good
if
for
you
you?
feel like it, yeah.
All right.
I have no
let's-
idea how you're gonna use any of this.
No,
I have no idea.
it's just conversation.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? Little stories.
I mean, if anybody's interested in my life story, yeah, there's some of it.
Yeah. So.
I feel like we need another person.
You
Shoot
need
shit.
another person.
Yeah.
We'll
Someone who
get
can
you
shoot the
another
shit.
person. One the next time you come on, you could just do
Someone
it.
to drink with.
Fucking shout out to my brothers, Roach, Andreas, Montana. That was like my two guys.
What up, Roach?
That is my trio right there. Good guys, growing apart. It's just a little step in the road. So, bam, life hit me like, oh, now I gotta gotta do a little extra to spice it up, keep it entertaining. I ain't got my homies always to be around, like
Doing stuff.
normal. So, stay tuned. It's end of July. The finals. I think it's gonna be a good series. I'll talk to you guys soon. I got another guest coming this week that we'll have on. Got a single out on SoundCloud. It's not a mix to perfection, but it was just something that I wanted to put out there to just give a little start. I'll clean that shit up. I'm gonna drop a LP soon. And man, thanks again for having you.
It's no problem. It's
And
been chill.
we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. Stay tuned.